Hello, friends, and welcome to the DLLS Cowboys podcast. Well, we got a couple of standoffs for you today. Cowboys versus Diggs, Parsons versus Jerry. Holy cow, we got a show. And it starts meow. What up, everybody? Welcome in. Oh, that was on a hot mic.
Oh, my God.
Welcome into the DLLS Cowboys podcast, where we are starting off spicy in the chat. So many shots fired at everybody that's sitting in front of you today. It's going down. It's going down with the Cowboys. Nothing unusual.
Matt, we fighting, Matt. We fighting this on sight.
Have some courage. Have some courage, Clarence. What's up, everybody?
Sight.
It's good to see. Can we scroll up in the chat real quick? We do need to shout out whoever was first in the chat.
We got Dan!
Shout out to Dan. Shout out to Dan. We're going to get into all your Cowboy things today. But before we get started, I need to introduce everybody. I need to tell you that today's show is dedicated, my performance anyway, to Angelina Jolie.
Oh. Angelina Jolie?
And cheese. Today is National Cheese Day, one of the 5 greatest inventions of all time, cheese. So whoever discovered cheese, I mean, the wheel.
Yeah. Toast?
First of all.
Or bread?
I mean, bread
Thank you.
Bread might be
I
up
told
there.
him before the show.
Might
There's
be.
a saying about bread. What is the saying about bread?
That's just a saying.
I forget what the saying is.
Greatest thing since sliced bread,
that's what
okay?
it is, yeah.
When they do a saying, that's the greatest invention, okay?
But if you're saying that, you're talking about a way you even have to do the bread. You're not even saying bread. You're saying sliced bread.
Because sliced bread changed the world.
No,
You used to just make loaves, just back in the old days. You remember
And
you
that's
bite the
awesome.
loaf.
Do you eat blocks of cheese?
You know?
Or do you slice it because the bread was sliced?
I
Yeah,
do all sorts of
you
things. with
slice
cheese.
it.
That's fair.
You don't even want to know what I do.
But I
with
do want to
cheese.
say one thing. I love Angelina Jolie in her movies. I'm really disappointed in she married Billy Bob Thornton. I mean, that just was
She
like.
didn't marry Billy Bob Thornton, did she?
Did she date? Did
She was
I thought
definitely
it
with
John-
him for a
it was
while.
John Voight. It was
No.
Or no,
She
that's
was,
her
her
and Billy
dad.
Bob
That's her
wore
dad.
each other's
the
blood.
fact that-
That's her dad.
her and Halle Berry just
Sorry.
disappointed me with this whole Billy
Stand up.
Bob Thornton thing. I'm like, come on, stop.
Well, you should watch Landman. There's a lot of appeal to Billy Bob Thornton.
Really?
Dude, he's awesome. He's awesome. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. My name is Jeff. Next to me is the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys who has bad takes on cheese. It's
You
Clarence.
want to win? Put
What?
Shield in.
What?
We can't get no song today.
No, you don't
No,
get
you
Club
don't
Pop
get-
Pop every day.
No.
Hey, people want to dance. We hype. We hype this morning. We're trying to get in the mood this morning.
How many 5 hour?
Where legends drop, Clarence Hill just can't stop. Breaking news, you gotta hop.
Happy Wednesday, people. Let's get hype.
Hump Day. Next, Clarence is the second greatest beat writer. I'm sorry, second greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Mr. Joe Hoy.
Tell him something, Joe.
Appreciate you, Jeremy, G from Jersey. Matthew, like we've asked Stephen Jones everything under the sun about this stuff. This is now a playbook they have. Okay? So
And
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Mike is mad at the front office. It's a whole calamity. It's going to distract from the season. We're going to have problems in Cowboy land. Micah Parsons was tweeting about Jerry Jones yesterday and quote tweeting Clarence Hill to do it, which is how you know greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys.
that's right.
say it with your chest, baby.
See,
say it with your chest,
I think
baby.
actually what happened is you're online enough that draws Micah to you because he's online a lot, and he's like, "Man, I'm gonna go where this dude's gonna be tweeting all the time."
Well, let's just talk about yesterday. Let's just talk
get
about it.
into
Let's
it.
talk about it all because we got to get into it. You know, because I was here, and I told y'all before that Michael wasn't going to be at practice, and it was funny because I got a text message. We talked about on the show, not yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not yet.
Mhm.
But he wasn't. It was 10 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock. Then, obviously, you guys asked him at the press conference, asked Shotty about Micah, and Shotty was all with the great, yeah, but we love Micah, and he's going to, he's been here, and yes, he's not here. We don't know if he's going to be here next week.
Well, he said he said he expected him to.
Well, hoping, expecting, right. He'll
Yeah.
be here next week for the mini camp, but he wasn't here, and Micah's still connected, though. He ain't been here, don't have a contract, ain't been connected. So I went to practice, there's no Micah. Somebody walks up to me, Micah's here. Micah's here.
Liars.
No, he showed up after practice.
Yeah. I said he might as a joke.
No,
I was like, just because he's not here during practice or the meetings.
He walks into the locker room as we're all waiting. All the media is waiting to go in the locker room, and it was just like what's up, Micah?
Yeah. so while everybody doing interviews, I'm walking corners. Before that, I'm sorry. They have to, again, only the Cowboys, okay? They're at practice. They stop practice. They leave the outdoor practice field because they want to practice outdoors on the grass.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay?
We love grass.
They leave the practice field to go indoors. Not because of the heat, because we was like, man, y'all can't handle the heat.
That wind was crazy, though.
It was because of the wind. You know why they have a wind?
Oh, we can't run from wind. It's part of football.
No,
It's a tunnel, though.
They have a wind tunnel because you know why they have a wind tunnel?
Because Jerry built a club and a restaurant and whatever around the field.
Because he built these two big business office buildings on both sides of the field to make money. Dr. Pepper owns this one. Jerry owns this one, and it's created wind tunnel so they can't throw the ball, which is legitimate. They can't. I mean, it's crazy.
I thought Joe Milton had a big arm, cut right through it.
He probably could, to be honest with
but.
you.
Right
so
to
they
Damone
have
Clark.
to leave practice, and they've done that several times. They have to leave practice to go inside because of the wind tunnel. So as they're leading practice, what?
Vance,
bring it on, Vance! Bring it on, Vance!
We have a $100 super chat. Pop.
Come on, Vance! Come through, baby!
Where legends drop.
Come on through, Vance!
Clarence Hill just can't stop breaking
Vance more. Vance just gave us $100.
Just wanted to show my appreciation for this show and everyone working on it, especially Katya for having to deal with y'all. Appreciate Joe and Chill's great work, Jesse's amazing work in the community, and Jeff making sure we all know #therapy is cool.
It is.
All up. You're a beast, Vance.
Vance, you've
been,
been
Vance.
And Vance, you've been a consistent super chatter too. You've been awesome.
You're a
Your
monster.
support's appreciated. Thank you so much, Vance.
You guys could all learn from Vance. Get a bunch of money together and give us some of it.
That's right. So getting back to, they're leaving the practice field, so I stopped Steven.
Yep.
Which is good.
Nobody else was going to stop Steven. I stopped Steven.
Well, at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, I stopped Steven and said, we talking. What you want to talk about? I got to go into practice. Steven, come on, man. Let's talk. We got to talk. Come on.
Come on.
Then everybody's going inside, like I stopped. Then everybody comes over, and I asked him about Micah. Nothing new to report.
Cool.
Nothing new to report. I don't want.
I'll keep you updated.
I'll keep you updated. None. When I know something, I know something. 4 or 5 questions. If you guys keep asking about Micah, I'm ending this press conference.
That's fine.
Attitude. But why we got attitude? Why are we terse? Why are we?
Because they know how goofy they are about this stuff.
Again, attitude. Okay?
They don't respond well to criticism.
You know, so this all happens. So then we go in, we go watch practice, come out practice, then Micah shows up. Okay? Micah shows up. And it's funny because as he shows up, so I'm walking around all the hallways, all the crooks and crannies looking for Micah. Micah comes down this hallway with his little water bottle. He sees me, turns the other way.
You're just creeping around the star.
Yeah, he turns the other way. Then I go back in the locker room.
You two go running.
And then there's this other
Try to
where
cut
they
him
go
off.
to the training room. He comes around the corner of the training room. He just starts laughing. I said, Mike, come on, man. I said, man, you got to ask them. I said, Mike, come on, man. And he keeps going. It's media day. It's picture day. So he shows up at picture day. And so I tweet out that Micah's here and he shows up at picture day. And my friend Tad,
Oh, he's a
Who's
PR
watching-
guy for the
always
Cowboys.
putting-
who's
You're
watching
always-
my
PR
my
boss for the
tweets.
Cowboys. He yells at
He
Clarence.
didn't just come for picture day. He came. He was scheduled to come back. His plane got delayed.
Cool.
Plane got delayed.
Of course it did.
2 days ago.
Yep. What they got to do?
It's 1 o'clock.
All right.
Why wasn't he at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Spain's far.
If he got plane
Spain is far. I can tell you that it's a 10.5-hour flight to
Spain's far.
DFW. That's where my plane went from.
you know.
Yep.
But he's out of town. Yes, he showed up a picture day.
Good for him.
You know.
But after he showed up, he tweeted.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you through it because this
Yeah.
is Clarence tweeting out. This is Clarence Hill, the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys. Will Micah Parsons be back next week? Cowboys coach Brian Schottenheimer, I assume. Mike and I talked a couple days ago. He's doing a little bit of traveling, but again, everything that he and I talked about, I expect that he'll be here. I say Micah and I have had great communication, and everything that I've asked him to do, and vice versa, he's followed through on. So I expect to see him. Micah Parsons shares that tweet ZX post and adds to it, I will be there. I haven't missed a mini camp in 4 years. Even though the contract is not done, I have teammates and a playbook. I'm preparing as if I will be on the field the first week of camp, but it's in the owner's hands. I'm ready to win a Super Bowl. Mike is out Jerry, and it's so fun to watch. Jerry's favorite thing is to turn you guys against the players when it's contract time. And Mike has been out in front of it the whole way. The entire way, saying all the things that he's supposed to. Now, there is one in here that does tell me about his plans, though. I'm preparing as if, excuse me, I will be on the field the first week of camp.
And but he's not talking about minicamp.
No, he's talking about training camp.
Exactly.
But it's in the owner's hands. So get ready. When they continue to just not call his agent and make the deal that they're eventually going to make, and they know the exact parameters of the deal that they're going to make, they could have made it a month ago. They could have made it 2 months ago. 6 months before that, they could have made it for cheaper, and they knew what those numbers would have been. They choose not to actively. This is on Jerry and Steven. Micah Parsons will not be at training camp. That's right here inside these words when you parse through it. If they don't get it done, and Jerry probably loves that because you'll write about it.
Well, see, there are a couple of things. Because he said on the field.
I'm preparing as if I will be on the field the first week camp, but it's in the owner's hands. Okay, could be there, but not on the field.
I think hold-ins are very possible.
It's showing up. It's on just like he will be here for minicamp. He will not do any work on the field.
Yeah.
And he told us that, which we wrote. I wrote that 2 weeks ago. Michael will show up for some of these things. He's not going to do any work. He said that. And we said that a couple weeks ago. So he will show up for minicamp, but he will not do any on-field work. We've seen, and the crazy part is, we've seen people across the league get injured in OTAs.
Yeah, Donald Parham just had a torn Achilles or torn hamstring.
Yeah. And so when you got $40 million, $50 million, or whatever else on the line, which is out there for Micah, you're not going to risk that.
Yeah.
In OTAs by being on the field doing drills. You're risking a chance to get that money because the contract's not signed yet. And so it's
he already
smart.
has a contract clearance. He should be on the field working out with his team.
See, carrying the ball. You sound like Calvin Watkins. I had this big argument with Calvin Watkins. He wrote a story today in the morning news. You know, get your morning news.
Oh, it's called the morning news.
Get your story today, morning news.
Yeah.
It's a bad look that Micah and Diggs are not here. Bad look. What's the bad look, Calvin? What's the bad look? Jerry,
I actually understand it on the Diggs side of it.
No, I'm talking about the Micah side.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. We'll get into Diggs, and we're gonna get into that bad look.
I'll fight you.
We'll fight. But how is it a bad look for Micah? How is it a bad look?
I kind of, you touched on this earlier, Jeff. I don't think it's a bad look, but I also think it's because Micah Parsons has gone out of his way to control the narrative from the very beginning. He talked, and the funny thing about it is, and it better be funny,
it better be hilarious.
What he's saying about like what he intends to do, and even the fact that he's shown up though, like. This is not to cloud the fact that like he is still trying to become he's still waiting to get paid. Like we kind of know the result of this. Like he said early on, like I don't need to be the highest paid. I mean, in reality, he was going to be.
He's going to be the highest paid.
But that was the narrative, and so I think Mike has done a masterful job, kind of doing what Jerry Jones likes to do, but against Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
And kind of turning the tables a little bit because we know how this is going to end. Yeah. Micah Parsons will be the highest non-paid quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
And he's going to show up,
and something I've said a long time because I know Jerry pushed it back. Micah Parsons is a big kid, okay? And lovable big kid. But he's trying to say the right things. That's what he's doing. When he says I don't need, he's trying to appeal to the masses. Hey, I'm not that kind of guy.
For sure.
I want to, I don't need to be the highest paid. He knows he's going to get paid, but it's out of his hands. But he's trying to, and he said, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be around. He really wants to say the right things. And that's my point when he doesn't need to be a leader. Yes, but everybody wants him to be a leader. So he's going to say, I want to be a leader. And he wants to say the right things. But the facts are, like I told Calvin, he wasn't here for minicamp last year.
No.
Okay, this is what happens. Mm-hmm. When you are up for a deal, you don't have a deal. This is not a bad look on Micah. This is business, which is how the Cowboys are taking it. Nobody in the organization is mad at Micah for not being there because it's business, and they could have got this done.
I genuinely think Steven just didn't want to. They don't have an update, and he's tired of talking.
Yes,
that's why he did.
I think their response to me is a reflection of how they know they have to know that the way they do business is not football smart, but if we're being honest, everybody's priority in life for the most part is the safety, security, comfort, and financial well-being of you and your family. This stuff and having it talked about all the time is so good for the Cowboys brand and visibility.
100%.
And it's not ideal for winning at football. Winning at football, ideally, is getting your players signed as soon as possible for as cheap as possible to keep building your football team. They know what they're doing is not the most conducive to winning. And people point it out over and over again, and they hate that. Yeah. They would rather be able to just get their views and be in the headlines and it not be pointed out, hey, what you're doing isn't smart. That's why they get frustrated. Is because what's being pointed out is what you're doing isn't smart. And we're not idiots.
Yeah.
We know what he's going to make. You know what he's going to make. We know what he would have made if you did it 6 months ago. So do you. So does the fans. It's only you guys are the reason this isn't done, and it's a weird thing you do.
Yeah.
And that's why they get frustrated.
It's funny, though. It's the difference between Jerry and Steven, though. Because Jerry will talk about it. He won't threaten to end a press conference. He'll just answer questions about it, give good quotes, and next thing you know, it's the leading thing on ESPN.
Yeah.
Steven didn't want to talk about it yesterday.
And somebody in the chat had made me go to check Twitter because they were right. I forgot who it was. It was talking about Jalen Ramsey's tweeting Bible verses. That's a man that's about to be traded or cut. Once you start slapping them Bible verses on Twitter, that's a man who's trying to get out of there.
He's trying to get out of there.
He's trying to get out of there.
But he's been openly tweeting about, I'm not going to be in Miami.
They said we're done.
I know, but he's gone all the way to the Lord now. My man is trying to get going.
Let that man go to the Lord.
He's trying to get moving.
Go to the Lord in prayer.
Yeah, Stephen, I appreciate you.
Thank you for adding that last part. In
prayer.
Not just going to the Lord.
Going to the Lord in prayer.
Going to the Lord yet.
Going to the Lord in prayer.
You got some years left. Coming up next,
I'm a church kid.
We'll continue through with your super chats, and we'll move on to player number 2 that is kind of at war with the Cowboys organization is next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast. But before we get there, let's talk about our friends at Monarch Money. Finances can be messy and confusing. Monarch Money acts like your personal CFO. They give you full visibility and control so you can stop earning and start growing. So Monarch Money is going to help you track your finances. That's really important because it's important to help people understand if there are certain things you're overspending on and you don't realize it, the ways that you waste money. They can make you feel better because now I know exactly what I'm doing and what I need to change to be where I want to be. Start managing your finances to build the life you actually want. You'll get all your accounts, credit cards, investments. It's all in one place. You'll always know where your money stands without any hassle. You can track your spending, savings, investments effortlessly so you can focus on what matters most, making your biggest life goals a reality. The finance tool people actually love. Join over 1 million households. Get control of your overall finances with our friends at Monarch Money. Use the code DLLS at monarchmoney.com and you'll get half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code DLLS. Also, shout out to our friends at HelloFresh, who I love very, very much. Part of the reason is because, as you guys may know by this point, I'm a basket man. I don't like pushing a cart in the grocery store, which means I don't get enough groceries, which means I got to go back in 2 or 3 days. I'm also task avoidant, so I'm not actually going to do that. HelloFresh takes all of that off the table, and they make it easy to fit your quick home-cooked meals into your schedule every week by curating delicious recipes as well as over 100 seasonal snacks, sides, and treats. They're evolving to fit every lifestyle by bringing customers even more convenience without compromising on taste, health, or homemade quality. Their new ready-made meals offer chef-crafted, flavorful dishes that are ready in just 3 minutes so you can dig in and get outside, get work done, or just get some me time. It's our friends at HelloFresh. Feel great with meals that fit your schedule and make the season even more delicious. Go to HelloFresh.com/Cowboys10FM right now to get 10 free meals with a free item for life, 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as a discount on the first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. It's the DLLS Cowboys podcast. Now we got Trevon Diggs, who is, I don't know if he knows that he's at war with the Cowboys organization, but we're finding out that they may be at war with him. Let me knock out the super chats before we get to that. Everybody who's jumped in there. We've got 3, I believe, get Dro Nose is in here. Are we really surprised that Jerry waits so late to pay players? He waited until his daughter turned 21 before he paid Jerry. Well, technically, I don't think it's been proven that anything is his. And he definitely paid some stuff before she was 20.
Dro makes me laugh, man.
Chris is in the super chat. It's why winning isn't number one priority. Money is. Jerry Jones is a business owner. Sooner you wrap your head around that, sooner you'll understand lots of things. And also, any chance Charlotte takes over, Steven is a clown too. I don't know the order of succession.
No, Chris.
I don't know.
Understand this. They have as of now, a clear delineation of duties. And Charlotte handles the marketing and handles the business side or that sort of thing.
AKA, they'll both get the team. Steven will be the GM.
Yeah, Steven does the football side. Charlotte's not been involved in the football side. She's been involved in other stuff and helping them make money, which also Steven as well, but she's in charge of that sort of stadium marketing, all that other stuff. Steven is the vice president or executive vice president or president of football operations.
We're in trouble, y'all.
I mean, he's the football guy, and as me and some other beat writers have been joking, because we see the kids, you know, who's going to be the next one, you know? And I got my money's on John Stevens, former quarterback at Arkansas.
Okay, we're looking at the next one down. The grandkid's going to own the Cowboys.
It'll be John Stevens, but how about Paxton Anderson in a scouting role? Because, I mean, the DeMarvin Overshone, he had the eye for that.
And the beautiful thing about it is they're all working for an organization. They're all working in different departments. They're preparing.
Yeah.
You know, they're preparing.
Most people's goal in life is to provide for them and their family.
Yeah, they're working with different organizations, but I've been calling John Stevens the boy king since he showed up.
Yeah.
You know, he was a little bitty kid. Jerry used to take him to the bathroom and whatever. I was like, oh, that's the boy king right there.
Covered him at Highland Park. He slang that thing.
He's on board and that was before. I'm talking about when he was 2, 3, coming out to practice.
What if in 20 years, 40 years, when Jerry passes on and through the pearly gates, he just goes, look, my kids ain't got it. It's going straight to a grandkid.
Well, I know which kid ain't going to get it.
Who?
Dang.
Which one, Clarence? You're a beat writer?
Yeah, why are you?
Break this news.
Why are you tossing?
What am I tossing? What am I tossing?
Jerry,
don't put this on me.
You know, I know what you want to say. You trying to read my mind.
Well, Clarence, we worked through a couple of them, and you didn't name Jerry Jr., okay?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
So anyway, Trevon Diggs.
Yes, love you, Jerry Jr. I'm not talking about Jerry Jr.
Trevon Diggs. Oh, you talking about? Dang it, I forgot her name. I never forget her name.
Hey.
Alec?
Nothing been proven, nothing. No DNA test.
Alexis?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't just talk about.
Fun baby is what we call that. Allegedly, who knows? Push back enough court dates.
That check cleared.
So yeah, Trevon Diggs is the other Cowboy who may not know that he's at war with the organization, but I saw the story yesterday, and I talked to you about this, Clarence, and you were the one who broke this. You hit me with the scoop on the Trevon Diggs thing, because I've been saying, like, he's not there. Like, he's not trying to get a contract or whatever. Like, he's going to play football when he's healthy and ready to play football, and I would assume all of those guys would just be at the team things, whatever meetings we're having, whatever, even if I can't be on the field and I'm not ready to go through an OTA practice, I would assume you'd be out there. Trevon Diggs is not.
Everyone else who is rehabbing is out there.
And now the story is coming out that the Cowboys could fine him if he's not at a certain amount of things, and that's written into most of the contracts, the big ones that they do. And Clarence, you told me that they're willing to, that they're not going to be like, no, it's okay, buddy.
Yeah, that's what's crazy to me. And, it's – so Diggs is not around, okay? Yep. And which I reported well back in the fall, the Cowboys are not happy with how he does rehab.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. And Jerry co-signed on that.
Yeah, he said it out loud finally.
People
get mad at us and talk about it, and then Jerry said it out loud.
It's not a secret that he and the scouting, not the scouting department, but the training staff are not getting along. It's a huge injury. We don't know when he's coming back. No one expects him to be back for training camp. Huge injury. So he's in Florida rehabbing. Why are we upset that he's not here rehabbing with the Cowboys? We all know.
I don't care who he rehabs with, but I would think that a guy who's under contract, not in a dispute for a contract, not trying to get a new contract, I would expect him to be at all the things with the new coaching staff getting ready to play football. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Mike, I get it.
That's fair.
You're doing business.
All I'm saying is no.
Diggs, bring your trainers to DFW so you can go to all your team stuff.
I can understand that, and I'm not pushing back on that. I'm just saying that I could understand if they say, okay, do your own thing. We understand there's some gray area. There's some stuff behind the scenes that may not be comfortable for you to be your best.
He don't like the training staff, and they don't like him.
Okay, so whatever the reason, I'm just saying that there could be some things there. The goal is for you to get healthy.
Right.
Okay, because you're under the contract. And we have invested in you. The main goal is to be healthy. So I just asked the question, are y'all, because it's in his contract that he has to be here for 84-something% of the offseason program.
Majority.
Okay? Or you lose $500,000.
Right.
Okay? Of your base salary. And I say, are y'all really
have a lot of money to hear a number like that? Like, that's fine.
Exactly. And so clearly he knows his contract. They know his contract. They're in Florida anyway. But my point, so I asked the Cowboys, are y'all really going to take this money from him if, because he didn't show up? And they said, yeah, we're doing that.
Because one question for you, because this is going to be my third season. I'm still learning things. So question, they don't have to pursue that, or do they? Like if it's contractually based, like can they be like, you know what, hey, but we're cool. We're
Listen,
totally comfortable. Or do
listen,
we know, or do we not know that?
It's in his contract, but we know they've done things to make things go away.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at.
Like Zach Martin was not. I don't think he had to pay his fine.
I think he did.
Or they gave him some money to overcome that fine.
Yeah, or they say, how much was that? Add that into how much you're going to get.
You know,
for sure.
saying,
Yeah.
In the past, I mean, they can do what they want, but they are like, no, we're gonna come after this. And again, my bottom line is Diggs knows his deal. His agent knows his deal.
For sure.
And what's his base? His base salary. I mean, his contract average like $20 million a year. Right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I ain't tripping on 500,000.
So it's 1/40th of it. Yeah.
What?
I'm tripping on it, but maybe he's not tripping on it.
And I think if we had that income, you're right. I just can't wrap my head around it. I guess I can, because I've been real broke.
Yeah.
And at that time, if you'd have been like, could you, see yourself like letting $20 get away? I'd be like, are you crazy? I get down to $1.17 before I get paid every time. But if you've got tens of millions, maybe five, I can't imagine just letting $500,000 go.
But
I'll see you at work.
I don't know if he's like quote unquote letting it go though. Like, I mean, in his mind, and this might be a little Recky Specky, but like the fact that like
we love a Recky Specky.
the fact that he's away, right? And you reported they're not happy with his training mentality. You tend to wonder, like, is $500,000 worth not trusting someone? You know what I mean? If you're like, you know what? I look at that as investment because I don't like the way they do things. I'm going to do it to get healthier. So you know what? That's worth $500,000.
Right. And so it's the big picture. The big picture is at hand.
Yeah.
This is not a 1-year decision for me. This is my career.
For sure.
So
no, but I don't think you have to. Like, I think you can be there, not get fined, and still do rehab with someone else.
No.
You can say, yes, I'm coming. You have a meeting? I'll be at the meeting.
But what if the guy you trust is in Miami?
Yeah, the guy you trust in Miami.
Instead of $500,000, I have to be at camp this week. I will give you $50,000 to hang out in DFW for a week.
But he may have other clients. He has a business.
Okay, $100,000.
But he still has other clients.
I will fly them up.
But it's
$500,000.
Listen,
I'm going to work.
All this is on the table, and that's part of the backdrop. So everybody thinks it's just everything is not cut and dry. At the end of the day, the Cowboys are going to hold them accountable for that $500,000.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Diggs says me getting healthy, me being in an environment so I can be healthy and be back is more important to me than that $500,000. And so that's the case. What we do know is that, as they say, he will be here for minicamp.
Of course they say that.
Because it's mandatory.
Right.
Oh, no, it's not.
This sounds pretty mandatory. It's $500,000.
No. Additional fines happen.
No.
Right.
So this is more fines, and it's bigger fines. So if you're not a minicamp, it's bigger fines. And so it's mandatory. He will be here for minicamp. And so I'll do the minicamp fines. He's going to be here. But Steven said that he wants him with Britt. He wants him with his guys.
Which is that's on, at that point, I think that's on Steven, because this is a years-long thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Where if you've watched content that, I can't speak for other people's content or what you've written over years.
Yeah.
But like for years, I've talked about why Trevon Diggs probably isn't long for the Cowboys and hinted towards how they feel about his rehab a lot. And people are like, you don't know that. You don't know that. Everybody has known for quite some time. And it's why if you hear media people hinting towards the same things, they're just not coming out and making a formal story, but they're telling you what's happening.
Yeah.
Brett Brown, the head trainer of the Cowboys, doesn't think that Trevon Diggs works hard. Trevon Diggs doesn't like Brett Brown. They don't want to be working together, but the Cowboys, and at that point, if you're the Cowboys, why can't you just concede and be like, okay, those two, wrong foot, whatever. Like, they're not jiving. We can surely find an accommodation because we are invested in you. The answer shouldn't be, we want you with our guy. Like, okay, well, who else is around here that he can work with and he can and just figure it out? I don't we don't got to turn everybody against each other.
And as Jesse pointed out in our chat yesterday, and you pointed out, they want him here because they want him around the guys. They want him with the camaraderie. Right. They want him with the culture. But also want him
with the new defensive coordinator. Like, we're getting ready to football.
Always new defensive coordinator, learning the defense. Of course, he's a cornerback, man. Just go cover that guy. You go over there, go cover. I covered Dion. Dion will be at baseball. Leave baseball and go.
You said leave the.
Yeah, leave the baseball game. Come play football and cover that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't come to minicamp. Didn't come to training camp. Didn't even come to practice all week.
Diggs is not.
Go cover.
Dion.
I understand that, but it's the cornerback. I mean, it ain't rocket science here.
Because I talked to Diggs.
It's not rocket science what you ask a cornerback to do. It ain't like linebacker. You got to do the run fits and all that other stuff and defensive line.
You better run fits at corner.
No, just set the edge.
Diggs ain't going to.
Just set the edge.
Just set the edge. That's run fits.
You don't take right. I can teach you to do that, Joe.
You don't need to teach me. I could do that.
See, football, Joe. I mean, we're not asking you to be no intricate part of the defense, no scheming. You're the cornerback. Come on, you're outside. You're not even being the nickel. You're not the slot corner. You're the corner.
I was going to say they might ask Ron Bland to do that, though.
You know what I'm saying? So I get you, but it looks good on paper. And yes, you should be. We want you. We want everybody. Just like we want great culture. We want everybody to get along, okay? We want leaders. We want great guys. But at the end of the day, about winning and losing football games, go cover your guy.
I do love that Dave Campo is one of the sweetest men I've ever met. Being out at the Star and talking to him about Deion one time where he was like, I was, was he the secondary coach or the D coordinator, whatever he was. Deion was there.
Yeah, at that point, he was secondary coach.
And he said, Deion got there and I was like trying to teach everybody what we wanted to do. And Deion was like, just tell me which guy and he won't catch a pass.
Yeah.
And Dave was like, that's not how we call defenses. And Deion's like, why not? And he was like,
you're right.
I guess that would make it easier. Okay, you get rid of that guy, and we'll do the rest over here.
For sure.
Diggs is not Deion.
No.
Diggs ain't Deion. No. Coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast, two scoops of Joe. How about that? How the Cowboys feel about the rest of that cornerback room and how Trevon Diggs fits into it. All of that is coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast. And I'd like to talk to you about our friends at Empire Today. Live us some Empire Today. It's where you get your flooring. It's where you need to get your flooring. They are absolutely incredible, the best of the best. They got flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring every single day. I'll tell you, I once upon a time worked at a big box store. People come in and ask me about the flooring, and I'm like, yeah, that one right there.
That one's wood.
That's wood is what that is. That's wood. Well, what's the difference in this one and that one? Wood and some other wood. A little different. That's why the price, because I didn't know. Go to people who this is what they do. That's what our friends at Empire Today do, is they do flooring. You get overwhelmed when you're walking around looking at 7 million choices and you don't have somebody who knows exactly what they're doing helping you out. Pick the right flooring, the right colors for your space. See how it looks with your furniture in your house. Get precise measurements taken. And have all your questions answered so there are no surprises. Schedule a free and home estimate today because some things are just better at home. DLLS listeners, you can get a $350 discount when you use the promo code DLLS. $350 off with the code DLLS. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday/DLLS for full details. Also, I want to invite you guys to Vegas. We're heading to Las Vegas.
Vegas!
With True Fan Travel for the ultimate fan experience, DLLS, we are taking over the Strip for an unforgettable weekend in Vegas.
The Strip.
And you got to be there. Join us as the Cowboys take on the Raiders November 17th. This all-inclusive trip includes 3-night stay at a luxury Vegas resort.
Woo!
Game tickets, VIP parties,
sheesh,
exclusive events,
sheesh, exclusive
with the DLLS crew and fellow diehards, and much more. Come see how we do Vegas. Join us and book now at truefantravel.com. See how Pop does Vegas. Dude. Like, I'll walk with you to the Wendy's down the street and get a Frosty, and then we could go get on a blackjack table. Clarence is going to take you somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
You do like he does.
I'm sorry. We love Wendy's. We love Wendy's. Now,
and
I want to go. We're going to go. No, we're going to go to Wendy's.
No,
we are going to go to
Wendy's.
Period.
Love Wendy's.
Period.
With them new Frosty flavors. So join us on this Vegas trip, truefantravel.com. It's the DLLS Cowboys podcast. We're on to segment number 3 of the broadcast day, and today on alldlls.com, if you're a diehard, you've probably already read. Hold on, let me check. I got to see, is it a diehard?
It's a diehard.
It's a diehard level. Yeah. So if you're a diehard, you've already read it. Clarence, we get it. You also wrote an article. Don't forget to read Clarence's article about Micah Parsons, which we already talked about today. But OTA observations from Joe Hoyt, including how they feel about their cornerback room. I'm just going to toss it out there. Whoa!
Yeah.
Hit us.
I think they're totally comfortable with their cornerback room, which is wild. And this is honestly something you touched on last week, Jeff, which was very on point.
Poignant, I would say. Whatever you're going to say, I was poignant.
It's a weird thing to trust right now because there's so many questions, right? And it's so thin. And it was the most thin it's ever been this past practice. You had Izzy McQuamu starting outside because Andrew Booth couldn't go.
Okay.
You had Deron Bland also on the outside. You had Wanye Thomas working in the nickel.
Oh, they're just throwing people around.
No, like right now, in terms of healthy guys, like no Malik Hooker was in the secondary yesterday.
We're not even playing football yet. We should be healthy.
Elijah Clark was there. No Marquise Bell. No Donovan Wilson. Long story short, you might think, oh my God, panic button, go trade for Jalen Ramsey now. I think that they're totally okay with their room. And I asked Stephen Jones about it, like, why are you confident about it? And he says, well, it's going to be key, but I think we feel good about the recovery of Savone Revel on him potentially playing week one.
You don't have to make that face every time
Savone Revel's name comes up.
Every time you hear his name.
I've been doing this since the segment started.
You eat a lemon.
I've been doing it since the segment started.
Yeah, lemon booty face. There it is again.
I've been doing it since the segment started.
No, I'm just telling you what they feel. I think with Savone Revel, with Trevon Diggs, they feel, like, hey, eventually he'll come back. Even though they don't really trust the rehab, apparently, but we'll see.
They just want to find him some more.
And then even Josh Butler, like they think that they like his recovery right now too. So when you start to look at the secondary between the guys and Kyer Elam, they're really high on right now. Schottenheimer has talked kind of ad nauseum about one specific thing with Kyer Elam, and that's that he's leading. They track all their miles per hours, and he's leading it consistently in terms of effort and running.
Let's go.
Which is all you can really take away from OTAs right now. But he did have another pass breakup on a deep ball yesterday,
so
that was notable. I think that they like their secondary right now, and they're not looking for a post-June 1 addition right now because they're expecting a lot of these guys who are injured to come back healthy. And that's, to be honest with you, that's scary, I think, for a lot of fans.
What's this? What is this?
Go for it.
Just because they said it don't make it so.
Okay. All right.
How you know they lying?
Because their mouth was moving.
Their lips are moving. How you know they lying? Their lips are moving.
But Clarence, you asked him specifically about Jalen Ramsey yesterday.
And what did he say?
He said no, he plays for the Dolphins.
He didn't say no.
He did say no.
He said he said he plays for the Dolphins.
He said no, he plays for the Miami Dolphins.
Right. So if he's not playing for the Dolphins, then what?
Then he could be available because, but guess what? He's not. And also, he has a crazy hard cap hit. And Clarence, you have reported specifically about how much money they're willing to spend in terms of their cap because they want to roll things over. How does Jalen Ramsey fit into that equation?
I think it's interesting because I've said we talked about it yesterday. We talked about the Ramsey thing yesterday when you weren't here. It's out there, and so I've said about the cap hit, and we talked about that. I just think it's interesting that
and Kalen Carson. Thank you.
Stop it.
He's close to team drills. He's close to team drills. I'm just saying.
Seatbelt.
He's close to team drills.
He wasn't drafted in the first round. Clarence wrote him off.
Exactly, 100%.
No, I've watched him play.
Fair.
Did you watch him play?
I did.
Okay, but no one's called him seatbelt anymore.
Played good against Cleveland. Then he got hurt in week 3.
Nobody's calling him seatbelt anymore, guys.
I watched Guyton play, and people are going to believe in him.
He played well in week 1. Week 3, he got a Derrick Henry stiff arm and he wasn't the same after that, literally.
Has the Cowboys said they were disappointed in anybody that they signed?
Probably Trevon Diggs.
That's not.
No, they haven't said that. They feel good about his rehab. Okay, they feel good about everything.
That's the one. Yeah,
that's not true. They said they got to see him when he gets there.
No, they said feel good. No, he said. I'm just saying.
But what did I say right? What did I say right away?
My point is, have they openly said they feel bad about anybody?
No one's going to do that.
Okay, I'm just saying. So they're going to project positive, even Damone Clark. Okay,
but we're not.
No, I'm not shooting down anything.
I heard Damone had a pick yesterday.
He did have a pick 6.
I'm saying that we don't know about Rebel. They don't know about Diggs. Should be concern at the cornerback position, which is why with the Blands, where there should be concern, and so they're not going to admit concern at this point. But we will see how they move. It's funny because we asked Stephen about you going to sign anybody else. Well, UFL is out there. We could get some guys from UFL. Now, there's nobody like Turpin and there's nobody like Brandon Arbor that we're focusing on, but UFL. What about, what about Rams? All these Ramsey rumors, you guys.
And who else?
And he said, he plays for the Dolphins. Well, we've seen Ramsey openly. He's praying. What's he doing?
He's Bible versing us now.
We all know Ramsey.
That man's trying to get
We all
moved.
know Ramsey is not long for the Dolphins. I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to do it.
You've been covering
I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to do it.
You've been covering this team for a long time.
I'm just saying that he's going to be somewhere in August. But the idea that the Cowboys are comfortable at cornerback
for now,
well, it's OTA.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So for now they're comfortable with it because they're banking on guys.
But our whole focus, and when we talk about the team and what they look like, It's about September. It's about what they're going to do in September. It's about who's going to be on the field in September. It's about getting over the little drought.
For sure. But Clarence, you've been covering this team for a long time. Has anything told you that they're going to go get Jalen Ramsey? Your history, the words, the facts.
George Pickens.
Exactly.
Maybe we're moving different.
They lied about him too.
Anyway,
they lied about him too.
Are they going to pay him?
We're talking about this year. We ain't worried about next year. We ain't worried about 26.
Oh, but when you acquire Jalen Ramsey, you're worried about not only this year but next year.
No, it's a 1-year deal.
Okay, if you're going to take a $50 million cap hit in dead money after that, sure, go for it.
No, they don't get no. So we're gonna work on the cap hits.
Yeah, you can work on it.
No, what I'm saying is because they didn't pay signing bonus, they have no cap hits in future years. The cap hits and that other money is only for guaranteed money or bonus money. Okay, if they have no,
has his all been paid out so far?
Yes, his last. Yeah, it's done after this year. Okay, so they have
Are they gonna pay it this year then?
They have no. No, that's we talked about it yesterday. It's a 1 year. It's a 1 year deal worth $20 million, and we'll see if it's worth that. But they have no future cap, concerns if they do him. It will be a 1 year rental or whatever else. And we've talked about this.
Which, honestly, I don't. If it were just about this year, go ahead and do it. Like I was reading about the suggested trades for Jalen Ramsey from a couple of different national guys, and they all look about the same. Where one of them was considerably higher value, it was like a 5th and a 6th round pick. The other one was just a 7th, and the Dolphins paying like all but 10 or 12 million.
Yeah.
And if you're getting him and they're for a late round pick and the Dolphins paying half of it, now we can fit that into you saying the Cowboys want to hold on to 21 million.
Yes.
They got 11 to play with. I can get Ramsey at 9 or 10. I would, but to Joe's point, like I think to that room, the cornerback room is the most confusing room on their roster because there's nothing you can know.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost like, look, we're going to survive OTAs. And honestly, we're going to get through minicamp with people standing wherever they stand.
Right.
And when we get to training camp, now we're going to start guessing at timelines and see, or not Because is Revel going to be ready to play NFL football in week 1? You'll have a better feel at training camp, right? You have a better feel with, are we pupping? Are we going to go practice?
And by that time, is Jalen Ramsey still available?
Right. And maybe.
Right.
Maybe not.
And it's not even about Ramsey. I'm just saying we're talking about the room. And Jalen Ramsey is only the name that we're talking about.
I don't think they know what they need or don't need.
What other names are?
I don't know. They can go get Andrew Booth again. That's what that big trade.
They have Andrew Booth.
The point is,
go get another one.
They traded for him.
Go get you another Booth.
They're gonna go. They still could make moves. And I'm saying that you're not gonna. You don't know.
We're talking through the light of the big move.
Huh?
We're talking about through the lens of the big move.
I mean, they thought it was a big move. They thought it was a former 2nd round pick. Who's
that?
Ramsey. I mean, Booth.
They did not look at
They did not think that was
a big move.
I hope not.
My point is, they put him out there to play. They thought it was somebody that could help them.
They put him out there in one half against the Giants, and then they pulled him
because he can't play. Because Zimmer drafted him. But all I'm saying is, you look at that room and listen. And I've said this. I love the words you use. Will he be cleared to play NFL football? Yes, Revel will be cleared to play NFL football. Will he be at his best? Is this the only thing I've said?
Yeah.
He's unlikely to be at his best in September, coming off an injury from I'm talking about confident, athletic.
Will be better Booth?
I'm talking about confident. I'm talking about confident, athletic. Not thinking about it best, and that's history says no. Now, could he be better than Andrew Booth on the field? Possibly, but that's like the tallest short guy.
I like what you said there. Tallest short guy.
I
would have guessed you would have gone a different way.
I didn't do the other way. I've matured.
I'm proud of you.
I'm not trying to get in trouble, Jeff.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm proud of you.
Stay safe out here. That's what I'm
trying
talking
to
about.
get in trouble. Because some people will come at you. They came after Jerry when he made that statement in training camp that year.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah. For what it's worth, I've agreed with you on that about Revel.
Yeah, that's all.
But also, I think that they're almost pegging him to start.
That's fine.
They're planning on it.
They paid Kalen Carson to start. Can't play.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not planning, the only thing is if they're not planning for Revel to start, I have no idea what their plan is. Yeah, because there is no other combination that you would feel even okay about, and Revel would scare me as a rookie coming off injury.
Right now, the only 2 known starters, whether right, wrong, or different, is like
Elam,
Kyer Elam,
and Bland.
And I bet you Bland's in the slot.
And Bland's in the slot, most likely.
Right, and trying to track down the third name of a starter to me is like, huh?
If it was today, it would probably be Izzy McQuamu because Andrew Booth was hurt. Outside.
Right.
I think I might like that better than if Andrew Booth were healthy.
Booth allowed 13 catches on 17 targets for 232 yards and 2 touchdowns last year.
Booth,
that's like 15 yards per attempt.
Listen,
that's incredible.
He is a walking big play for the other team.
You can't say that. That's rude.
He's good in run defense, though.
Hey, how about that?
He actually is.
How about that?
Man, he's a walking big play. I mean, we watched him play going back to training camp. He was Toast Patterson. You don't know Elvis Toast Patterson. Google Elvis Toast. They call the man Toast for a reason.
Bob Hayes ran
That's the greatest nickname of all time. Toast. I bet he didn't do great.
Is that who Bob Hayes ran at pass?
No, he was in the 80s, 90s. It wasn't in the 60s, 70s, but no.
Segment 4 of the DLLS Cowboys podcast is coming up next. It's going to include a jersey swap and other assorted Cowboy goods that we haven't gotten to yet in the broadcast. It's all next.
26K, babe.
Also want to encourage you guys to take advantage of our ball knower bonus. You know what I'm saying? Bang. What I want you to do is go over to alldlls.com. I want you to check out our merch store, right? And when you hop in the merch store and you're like, boy, I sure would like that. That's a good-looking tee. Go ahead and get you that good-looking tee. Go get you 12 of them, 15. Get a mug. Get whatever you want. And then predict who's going to win game 1 of the finals. If the team you say is going to win game 1 of the finals wins game 1 of the finals, you're going to get back a gift card in the amount that you spent in the merch store.
Boom.
That's the ball knower bonus.
Bonus.
And that's a 50-50.
Put your money on OKC, baby. Take it to the bank.
Easy. Don't offer advice.
I can't.
I don't know. I think you can.
You can.
I like to do fake disclaimers that I feel like I've seen in other people's commercials just in case.
I think it's fair. With the Tyler Booker pick.
So OKC's in the finals, huh?
Who's in the Stanley Cup finals?
The Oilers and the Panthers. For the second consecutive year. Wow. I look for Bobrovsky to really set the tone.
I love Bobrovsky.
For whichever team he's the goalie for.
Bobrovsky.
I do too. That's my guy.
We have the ball knower bonus for that too, don't we?
Yeah.
We got a ball knower bonus for that too.
Yeah.
If you want to go up in the merch store, get you a bunch of stuff.
Who has home ice advantage?
Somebody. I don't think Edmonton even had it against us, so I would bet it would be Florida. Totally my guess.
Also, Florida and Edmonton, so far away.
So yeah, we're going with Edmonton tonight.
Everybody knows Canada and Florida.
We're going with Edmonton and Florida. I'm going with Edmonton.
I don't know. Who does Bobrovsky play for?
Florida.
Okay, pick Florida, and then buy 77 shirts, 2 hoodies.
Where was hockey founded?
A mug and a beanie.
Where was hockey founded?
Not in Florida.
Switzerland.
Norway. Finland,
Japan.
Russia, Ukraine.
Canada.
Japan.
Of course, Canada. I have no idea if he's right. Welcome back. It's the DLLS Cowboys podcast. Please hit that like button. I agree with Caro in the chat who said, oh, my God, just go ahead and sign Gilly back. Not that damn hard.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
That would be perfect.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's doing the Jalen Ramsey thing just with way less expectation and money.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, we need you. And if someone else is ready, we still want you. And people get hurt a lot. You might play somewhere. You might, we'd be happy to have you around. And you're going to start the season as a starting corner, and then we'll see. That would be perfect.
What's the percentage that Stephon Gilmore signs with this team?
40%.
I was going to say, it's probably actually, I don't know if it's that high.
30,
but
15, 20, 27.
I would tell you this. In Vance, I know that Popeye's son played for Florida. We talked about this yesterday. He was on the show. We talked about the brothers. We talked about
Popeye's son and Bobrovsky?
We talked about the brothers in hockey, and we talked about Popeye's son yesterday. What was we talking about?
Wow.
We're talking about Gilly. We're talking about Gilly. What
are the chances Gilly's on the team?
It's funny. It better be funny. When Gilly was out there before he signed with Minnesota, last year he wanted to come back to Dallas.
Yeah.
He signed like $7 to $10 million with Minnesota. He would have taken half of that to come back to Dallas.
Bring him back.
They didn't call him. You know. Cookie told me this.
Jerry,
my dog. Cookie told me this.
Cookie
told me.
Oh, Brandon Cook's Cookie.
Yeah, you remember when Tom Brady called him Cookie on
I
air?
do, and I was shocked. I was like, that's the first time I've ever heard that in my life, and I want to know how many people call him Cookie.
Only Tom Brady.
Only Tom.
He said only Tom get away with it.
Cookie.
That's my dude, Cookie.
That makes me think of Men of Honor. Y'all remember that movie?
Yeah.
But Cookie and Gilly are tight.
Very tight.
Okay,
yeah.
And Cookie told me that Gilly wanted to come back after 2023. Wanted to come back last year and play with the Cowboys. He would have taken less money. Just like who else would have taken less money, Joe?
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry. If only they called.
Derrick Henry would have taken less money.
Can Derrick Henry play corner?
They didn't call it.
They didn't call it, but he would have taken less money to come back. So that's we're gonna move on from the cornerback. But yeah, I think that they need to address the position at some point.
I would let Derrick Henry play slot corner on downs where you promise me that they're running the ball, and he can just go crashing into the line and see if he can hit someone. I think that would be fun.
Assorted Nuggets.
Assorted Nuggets.
Ooh.
We had a jersey swap.
We did have a jerseys.
Assorted Cowboy Nuggets. See, I put that in the run sheet.
So
That was good.
So it's interesting because the other day
Very
we saw that number 3 on Fanatics. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
talked
we
about,
talked about it.
where does he get this Fanatics? We said don't buy the jersey because we don't know if it's gonna be a jersey. Clearly Fanatics knew something.
Yeah, they got a good source.
They know stuff.
They knew stuff.
They be knowing.
But they switched jerseys, and so everybody taking pictures of practice. Of course, the Intrepid went to those sources.
Are you the Intrepid?
And the Intrepid.
Okay.
I talked to Pickens. Then I talked.
I didn't even see Fowler yesterday. That's why I was like, good for you.
Sir.
Good for you. You look
I'm
happy
giving
and
you a
healthy.
compliment,
Sir.
and you're putting me down.
He was sitting down in his locker when I was waiting for Parsons. He was sitting down next to Osa, and I waited for him to go to the shower, and I walked up to him. I was going to say,
Oh, you walked up to him in the shower.
That's how you made it sound. That's how you made it
That's what
sound.
I'm talking about, Clarence. That's working, brother.
I'm not
Is that
doing
what
this.
intrepid means?
I'm not going to do this. So I didn't want to ask him in front of people. I didn't want to ask him while he was sitting at his locker. So I waited him to walk toward, I'm a king of the walk-offs.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to walk with you.
Catch them on their way somewhere.
I'm going to walk
I'm
with
not going
you.
to jam you up. I'm going to come with you.
I'm going to come walk with you. You ain't got to stop. Just talk to him, walk with you. And so first I got Pickens. I said, how you get that 3, man? Did you pay him? Did you ask for it? He said, no, man. They just told me it was available. They gave it to me. I said, you ain't paid? He said, no, man. They just gave it to me. I said, I'm happy. I liked it. I want it. And so then I went up to Fowler. He said, man, I knew Pickens wanted it, and I just gave it to him. I let him have it.
What a sweet man.
And he said he had to pay for nothing. It's all good.
What a sweet man.
Yeah.
I will say the 3 looks really good on Pickens. The 13 does not look good on
Again, what did he wear before when he was here?
56. He was 56.
So-
and then he was 6 last year, I believe.
So who has 56 on? Because you all know that
Who is
when the
56?
season starts,
I'm on it, boys.
When the
You
season
think
starts,
you think he's looking forward knowing he's got a number coming available?
somebody getting cut, baby. You know that.
Hold on,
90
let's
guys
see.
on the roster.
Oh, 56. Oh, I just had it. Oh, 56 Cooper Beebe.
Oh,
Oh,
duh.
he ain't getting
He
that.
getting cut.
And he ain't getting 6.
Okay.
But-
we can find him a number.
Well,
What else we looking for?
What other defensive ends and linebackers got numbers that could?
54 is Sam Williams.
Well, Sam Williams ain't getting
55.
cut.
55 would look good. That's Justin Barron.
55 is okay. I trust you because he's not on this roster.
Yeah.
53 is a dude named Luigi.
Yeah.
Oh, Luigi Villian.
Villian.
And I think, like I said, I also think that Ezra Rucker's gonna have a different number when the season starts.
100%,
too.
yeah.
He's not keeping 41.
You can be Dirk. 41's got a good.
I think 41 actually looks
good
good.
legacy in this town.
Especially with him playing off ball. Like, it looks good with him.
I do want to go through the roster one day and just be like, which of these guys need new numbers? Like 23 is not a linebacker number. That's weird on Buddy.
Joe,
Johnson.
I'm not in the shower with nobody, man. We walking. It's a walk, man. It's a walk toward there. Okay, I'm not in the shower.
Don't take my.
I'm
jokes
not in the steam
and pretend they're
room.
real.
Okay, I'm walking.
What if Fowler wants 6 again?
Don Wilson's got it.
Don Wilson got it.
I mean, I read. You ready for your next Jay Toya thing, Clarence?
Yeah.
I saw Wanye Thomas is getting a lot of snaps with the 1. What if Donovan Wilson's in trouble?
I mean,
I read that Wanye Thomas.
but
is out
there's
there
no
with
other
the 1.
guys. There's no other guys right now.
Who else?
Oh.
Who was it? Safety because Hooker was out.
Well, it was Elijah Clark playing
Exactly.
there. And Mike Smith.
Is Malik Hooker in
So,
trouble?
So Elijah
and
Clark,
Mike Smith.
Elijah Clark and Mike Smith got run with
Is
the ones.
Elijah Clark in trouble
got-
because of Mike Smith, whoever that is?
Elijah Clark got run with the ones too. Is my point. It's a road. Somebody got to play. They got to put somebody out there.
That's why it's so thin right now.
And I like Wanye.
How are so many people hurt when we haven't done anything?
It's why because you're not doing anything, you're not going to chance them getting hurt. So Hooker had a
Yeah,
back
Hooker had back
spasm,
spasms.
and so you're going to be careful. You're going to be
Do
cautious.
yoga.
CD didn't
Stretch.
practice. CD didn't practice yesterday. He was just there. He just showed watching.
But was he hurt?
The funny thing is that
It better be
CD he's not practicing.
Yeah.
But he would go in the huddle with him.
He was like on the line of scrimmage a
Oh,
couple
yeah, I want to hear the
times.
play call.
Yeah.
That's the way I like my guys to not be
But then he
practicing.
was like basically on the line of scrimmage a couple
I'm
times.
but y'all go run them damn routes. Listen, I'm gonna listen to this huddle. You go run them damn routes. I ain't running them routes now. Okay,
that's how my star player operates.
I'm not running them routes. Okay, you go run down the field and get tired. I'm gonna listen to the play call.
I support it. I think that is the way the star player should operate. I'm here. I'm listening. Y'all do the rest.
Y'all do it.
But listen,
I'll see you when it matters.
I thought it was funny because this is how the hierarchy is. It's funny.
Have we not gotten to the Fowler thing?
Everybody.
What about it?
We talked about the Fowler.
Oh, I know. I thought your perspective.
Yeah,
yeah, we did. Okay.
But it's funny because everybody saw Micah come in the locker room, so everybody ran to Micah's locker. When the locker room opened, all the media is standing by Micah's locker.
And that's when you zig, when people zag.
But
that's what you're supposed to do.
Micah didn't show up. Wanya Thomas thought they were there for him. There was a big gangbang around Wanya Thomas. He stands up and does an interview. Because they're all there right there.
You gotta get rid of that term, though. You gotta get rid of the term.
Let's not worry about that.
You gotta get rid of the term.
I wouldn't worry about
interview.
that. Yeah.
It's old school. So there's a big...
So why is everybody around Wanya? Like,
no, because
his
they're
locker's next to Micah?
Yes.
And they're waiting for... They were waiting for
So
Micah.
everybody, all the media, we throw it, they're moving packs. And so the throng of media goes to Micah's
Wanya
locker.
just jumped up and was like, ask me questions.
I don't know if that's exactly how it went, but we did talk with Wanya.
But they were not there for Wanya. They were there for Micah Parsons.
He never showed up?
No, I tell you, we running around the crowd chasing
No,
around
it was
the
like
locker
10
room.
minutes left in media. We're all chilling there, and all of a sudden I see Micah and Osa, who hadn't been there 1 second, like walk out of the shower area, and look in, and they're like, "Nope."
And
then
I
walk back.
Y'all got anything good from Wanya while you're waiting for Micah?
I said, yeah. I asked him about the fun again thing.
Listen. We gonna get Wanya on the show.
Good.
Wanya's a good guy.
Wanya's a great interview.
He's a great interview, great guy, great story, great family story.
Good jersey number.
His brother,
Great jersey.
obviously his first round pick. We talked about his brother. So I waited to that. I want to talk to him about myself. But he's a great guy, and so we're gonna get him on the show. We're gonna get him to talk. But it was just interesting how everybody went around Micah's locker hoping to get Micah because they saw Micah come in.
Yeah.
And then because so with all due respect, me, Todd, and all the other veterans are sitting out there like, what's going on over here?
Well, here's the good news.
I actually wanted to ask him about the fun again.
Because Joe is not 30 years into this, he probably would still like to talk to Wanya Thomas. There is value in it.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Clarence sits up here and he's like, let me know if it's Mike or C or Dak. And Joe's like, I guess I'll handle the rest of the team.
Literally, I looked at him like, is Clarence in there? No? Okay, let me go in.
Sir.
Literally, that's how it went.
Sir.
Play the hits, get the stuff.
Sir. So, but it wasn't just me because, Calvin went in there.
For sure.
Well, Calvin's way up here now. He gets the first question.
Todd also went in there.
For sure.
We sit back there looking.
But I was able to ask him about the fun again thing that kind of went viral.
I know. It's a good story. It's a good
Jeff
video.
and the diehards appreciate Joe. I would like to hear from the other players. Crow Nose is in the super chat. What does Jerry Jr. do? Marketing stuff.
Marketing stuff.
Rowdy.
Okay. Dro Nose is also in the super chat with, can the trio of Bell, Thomas, and Clark replace Hooker and Wilson? Dono can't cover, and Malik is Malik.
You've given up on this for this year?
You know what?
But Dono is a box safety. He's there to play the run. They're not there to cover.
But that's a weird thing in 2025. The guy who is incapable, I don't know if he's incapable.
What's the dude from LSU?
Honey Badger?
Honey Badger couldn't cover?
My
What?
butt.
Yeah,
He was a big.
Whoa.
My
You said some
bottom.
egregious things on this.
I'm saying that's.
I think it's I'm not saying it's
he's
interesting.
small. He wasn't
But,
covering big tight ends. Stop it.
I don't want safeties in the year 2025 who are not capable of playing a deep half.
Yeah.
It's what we do a lot now. And Eberflus, we'll see what the Cowboys do. Because typically you would say, yeah, he runs a lot of zone and a lot of cover too. But then I believe it was last year where it was like, wait a minute, suddenly he's a cover 3 guy. And so, I don't know which zone we're going to be talking about, but he likes zone.
Very early yesterday, a bunch of cover 3 and single high. So,
Okay, so now you do have a box safety. So now Donovan
Very
Wilson
early.
can
Vanilla.
I'm asking because, and we love Bill, and we always love the underdogs. Listen, I love Bill. I've been covering Bill, Florida A&M.
I'm shifting from Bell to Wanya this year.
I know, but we love Bill, right?
Okay.
What's his strong suit? It ain't covering.
He can absolutely cover.
It ain't covering.
He was an awesome coverage linebacker.
They moved him for a linebacker for a reason, okay?
That was a Dan Quinn experiment.
Okay, they moved the linebacker for a reason.
You got to write him off.
Okay,
Not write him off, but that's a Dan Quinn thing.
He's a tackler. He's a hitter. He's stopped the run, okay? That's what he is.
All right, everybody. Thank you for stopping by.
Dro.
If it's not too much trouble, hit the like button on your way out. Thanks for stopping by the broadcast.
Let me talk to Joe one quick. Joe, we need more money because your super chat was not in yellow. It was in the regular color.
Oh, that's messed up. Remember, we love Dro. We love you. Chill's hating.
Joe,
remember, you know what anybody's going
through. Get your dollars
through.
up, homie.
So be cool to everybody. We love you, bees.
Eliminate the contingencies.
We all silly like the mayor.